In life, we often seek quick fixes, the magic pill or the shortcut to success. But what if I told you that change doesn't require years of struggle, but just 1 week of disciplined action? The Stoics believed in the power of habits and self-discipline, emphasizing that our thoughts and actions shape our reality. In this speech, I will share with you 5 habits that transformed my life in just 1 week, rooted in Stoic principles. These habits don't promise instant success, but they cultivate the mindset of a warrior, resilient, focused, and in control of one's destiny. You see, the Stoics understood that true power lies within us, and it starts with controlling the things we can control: our thoughts, our reactions, and our choices. These habits aren't about achieving perfection, they are about progress. In 1 week, I began to see the shift. My thoughts became clearer, my actions more intentional, and my life, well, it started changing. If you are ready to take control of your destiny and transform your life, then listen closely, because these habits could be the key to unlocking your full potential. 1. Practice daily mindfulness to control your reactions. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment, aware of your thoughts, feelings, and actions without judgment. In the Stoic tradition, mindfulness goes hand in hand with self-awareness. The Stoics taught that while we cannot always control external events, we have absolute control over how we respond to them. Practicing daily mindfulness helps you gain mastery over your reactions, allowing you to choose a response rather than simply reacting impulsively. By incorporating mindfulness into your daily routine, you begin to observe your emotions and thoughts as they arise, without becoming overwhelmed by them. This awareness helps you detach from negative impulses, enabling you to respond with calmness and clarity, no matter the situation. For example, when faced with a stressful situation, instead of reacting immediately with anger or frustration, mindfulness allows you to pause, reflect, and choose a response that aligns with your values, rather than falling victim to knee-jerk emotional reactions. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius often reminded themselves to remain calm in the face of adversity, to stay centered and mindful of their thoughts. This practice not only brings inner peace, but also strengthens your resilience over time. The more you practice mindfulness, the more you understand that your peace is not dependent on external circumstances, but rather on your inner state of being. By incorporating mindfulness into your daily habits, you develop the mental discipline to control your reactions, navigate life's challenges with composure, and cultivate a sense of inner peace and strength that no external circumstance can shake. 2. Embrace the concept of Amor Fati. Love of fate is a powerful Stoic concept that teaches us to not only accept the events in our lives, but to embrace them wholeheartedly, no matter how challenging or uncomfortable they may be. It is the idea of loving your fate even when life doesn't go as planned. The Stoics believe that everything that happens is part of a greater design, and instead of resisting or resenting life's ups and downs, we should see them as opportunities for growth. Embracing Amor Fati means learning to see every experience, whether positive or negative, as something that contributes to your development. When faced with a setback, instead of focusing on the disappointment or frustration, you shift your perspective to understand that the event holds value, teaching you lessons you might not have otherwise learned. Whether you face success, failure, or anything in between, Amor Fati encourages you to love and accept it as part of your journey. By adopting this mindset, you free yourself from the need to control every aspect of your life. You stop fighting against what's out of your control and instead focus on how to make the best of the situation at hand. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, often reflected on the idea of Amor Fati in his personal journals, understanding that each challenge presented an opportunity to live in alignment with nature and to grow stronger in character. When you embrace Amor Fati, you cultivate resilience and a deep sense of peace, knowing that life's difficulties are not obstacles, but rather stepping stones to becoming your best self. 3. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't. A central tenet of Stoicism is the distinction between what is within our control and what is not. The Stoics teach us to focus our energy and attention on the things we can influence, our thoughts, actions, and responses, while releasing any attachment to external circumstances that lie beyond our control. This practice of differentiating between what we can and cannot control is the key to finding peace and avoiding unnecessary suffering. We often spend much of our time and mental energy worrying about things outside our control, other people's actions, the weather, or future events. This constant worry only increases stress and frustration. Instead, the Stoics suggest we turn our attention inward, focusing solely on how we choose to act in any given situation. The moment we accept that we cannot control external events, we free ourselves from the burden of trying to change things that are beyond our reach. For example, if someone criticizes you, you cannot control their words, but you can control how you respond. You can choose to react with anger, or you can decide to remain calm, composed, and unaffected by their opinion. By consistently applying this principle, you begin to cultivate a mindset that remains centered and unshaken by the unpredictable nature of life. Focusing on what you can control not only reduces anxiety and frustration, but also empowers you to take action in areas where you do have influence. By mastering your own responses and actions, you regain your power and maintain your peace, regardless of external circumstances. 4. Cultivate gratitude in all circumstances. Gratitude is a transformative practice that can shift your perspective, no matter the situation. The Stoics believe that cultivating gratitude is an essential part of living a virtuous life. Instead of focusing on what you lack or what goes wrong, gratitude directs your attention to what is present, what is working in your favor, and what you have to be thankful for, even in difficult circumstances. It's not about ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect, but about recognizing the value in every experience and every moment, regardless of how it appears on the surface. The Stoic philosopher Seneca taught that when we focus on gratitude, we become more appreciative of the present moment and less likely to fall into the trap of dissatisfaction. By reminding ourselves daily of the things we are grateful for, we train our minds to see the good in our lives rather than constantly longing for what we don't have. This practice allows us to create a sense of contentment that is not dependent on external conditions but rooted in our own perception. Even in times of hardship, practicing gratitude helps shift our mindset. For example, when faced with a failure or a setback, you can be grateful for the lessons learned, the strength gained, and the opportunity to grow. Marcus Aurelius, in his writings, frequently reflected on how the events in his life, both the good and the bad, contributed to his personal development. By acknowledging and appreciating these experiences, he found peace and purpose in even the most challenging moments. Cultivating gratitude is a daily habit that not only boosts your mental well-being but also enhances your ability to cope with adversity, turning every situation into an opportunity for growth. 5. Prioritize self-discipline over immediate pleasure. In a world filled with distractions and instant gratification, the Stoics emphasize the importance of self-discipline as a cornerstone of personal growth and success. Self-discipline is the ability to control your impulses, delay immediate pleasure, and focus on long-term goals and virtues. The Stoics understood that true fulfillment and happiness come not from indulging in fleeting desires, but from mastering oneself and making choices aligned with your higher purpose. By practicing self-discipline, you train your mind to resist the temptations that lead you astray. It's about choosing what's best for your future self rather than seeking instant rewards that provide only short-lived satisfaction. The Stoic philosophers, particularly Epictetus, taught that true freedom lies in our ability to control our desires and actions. Rather than being slaves to our impulses, we become masters of our decisions, directing our energy toward meaningful goals. For example, when faced with the temptation to procrastinate or indulge in distractions, self-discipline allows you to stay focused on your work, your personal development, or your health. By resisting the urge for immediate pleasure, you create space for long-term growth, whether it's financial security, physical fitness, or mental clarity. Self-discipline doesn't mean denying yourself all pleasures, but rather making conscious decisions to choose what will serve you best in the long run. When you prioritize self-discipline, you build a stronger foundation for success and cultivate the inner strength to stay true to your principles, regardless of external pressures or distractions.